Hello friends, welcome to today's stream. I'm a little bit... Oh, that's better. How are you guys? Hope you have a good week so far. It's Thursday already. This is kind of weird because the days go by way too fast. I think this should be illegal or something. And I wanted to make it a non-music stream today, but I just realized I had the music running still. I wanted to try to stream without music for once. I talked about that last time. I thought that everyone would probably prefer to just use the music they want and have it running on the side, and I'll just talk and can listen to my copyrighted music that I'm not allowed to play on YouTube while I'm trying, because I'm missing that a little bit. I don't want to have like these I don't know how much we all really like these non-copyright royalty free music I'm playing all the time. So no music today. Let me know how you like it. If you're missing something, I don't know, we'll see. I also have a new camera today. This one here. I bought the Elgato Facecam Pro to try it out for once. So you have a little bit of a difference in how I look today. I'm not that happy. I mean, it's a webcam, right? And before I had the Canon here, the M100, I think M100. It's no M200. I always say M100. It's actually the M200. Haha. Which is of course a mirrorless digital camera, and of course you can't expect a webcam to be as good as the well, I don't want to say professional because it's still like a beginner kind of mirrorless system camera, but I wanted to try the Facecam because I also have the prompter, so I can now read your comments here on the screen while I'm looking at you, which is great. And the Facecam fits perfectly in that prompter, and I thought I will give it a try, but I think I have to find another solution that's not really working for me. Yeah, so much for the tech stuff. So who do we have in here today? Goldfinchy, Danzig, Starry Midnight, Tarcisio, Raphael, of course, you were early. Also, Sirius is there. Hi, mate. Welcome, you guys. Hope you have a good time and have a good day so far. Yeah, so that's that. The whole like finding the right setup stuff. It's honestly, I kind of hate it. It's really, I don't know. It's it confuses me. There's too many options all the time. It is I hate to like build up the whole stuff, test it, and then something isn't working as planned, and then you have to like find a solution. I don't know. I like plug and play solutions, but with the Facecam it is plug and play, but the quality isn't there, in my opinion. I think I don't look as good as I usually look here in my little window here. Yeah. Hey Freeds, and yeah, as long as they keep me buying, right? Sure. I have to admit, well, I'm quite aware of or I'm always reflecting how I consummate stuff and how much tech stuff I buy and want to buy, and I'm always trying to keep it on a low level, but sometimes it's just not possible, right? So I built my light setup here in my office and everything, and the whole streaming setup consists of more and more items, and I think it would be great to kind of find a low-key solution for all the stuff. but at some point I think you have to decide if you want to go like all in and buy all the stuff, or if you want to keep it really low key and go with like film yourself with a very cheap webcam or something. But it could work, but I think it's also like more likely to be successful whatever you whatever kind of content you publish, if it's high quality. So yeah, unfortunately gotta buy shit. So oh, that's nice, thanks so much. That's great. Well, I always started investing money in skincare, so I don't see any results yet. So the older I get, the more I think I should do some skincare stuff. But oh boy, my wife bought me an anti-aging cream last year for my birthday. I mean that's kind of the statement, right? That's a harsh statement. Give me something like that for my birthday. Well, anyway, let's look at art. Let me quickly put on some music here. Some copyrighted, non-streamable music. And then I'll be there for you guys. Here we got something nice. Spotify. I don't know what it's called in English. Weekly mix or something, mixtape. Okay. All right, guys. Now let's look at the art, because I have a nice commission I'm working on right now, which is for the Pacific Drive game. I don't know if you played the game already. Please let me know if you did, because I had it on my wish list since like a couple of weeks. And funny enough, Poster Spy reached out to me. The guys from Poster Spy, they didn't reach out to me, but they had a contest going for this commission. So they were about to select 3 artists to make a poster for the game. And I applied for this, like one of these spots, and they reached out and told me that I have green light to move ahead, which is great. So here we are, and the funny thing is that I had the game on my wish list already, and I wanted to buy it, and then they were like, "Hey, let's do the poster," and so I played it now finally, and it's really cool. I am not telling you bullshit here. It's a great game. I love it. I love the vibe. It's I'm a big fan of cars, like old cars, and I love watching TV shows where they rebuild these old cars into something shiny and new. And I have like a kind of I don't know, I feel a vibe with these old and rugged cars, and the whole like mystery setting and little bit of fantasy survival thing they kind of matched here with this driving game. It's not really, it's not a racing game or something, and the driving is quite simple, but still you drive this old car, and they were able to convey the feeling of sitting in this own built old wagon and driving alone through this mystical fantasy landscape where really kind of weird things happen, and where you encounter strange events maybe, and you're also kind of discovering step by step what happened in this landscape you're driving through, that turned it into what it is. This is kind of this vibe and this feeling, and the whole kind of setting and scenery is very much what I love. So yeah, having lots of fun playing the game. I think I played like 3 or 4 hours now around the time, so I still have to go for a bit. Didn't have time because I have to draw the poster. But after the poster is done, I will definitely keep on or pick up the game again. for sure. So what is this? I just mentioned it already. So what's the game about? It's really very focused on the car. So you're kind of finding, or you find the car sitting somewhere, and it's run down really hardly driving for like just a couple of meters before a tire falls off, and you have to stop and find a new tire and stuff like that. So you're building this old car from the ground up, and I thought one idea for the artwork, for the poster, would be to really put the focus on the car as kind of the star of the game. I would even say that you control a human character. You don't really see yourself. So far, I didn't see like what I look like or what gender I have or whatever. So of course you're like a person in the game, but the real star of the game, the character, for me is actually the car, because you as a character are just kind of there to care for the car, to rebuild it when it breaks down, to find new fancy parts for it, to paint it, or just like really care for it, so it does get you somewhere. And it's I think it makes sense to emphasize on the car for the poster as well. So I came up with this concept here, where the car is kind of gravitating, or like flying in a zero gravity environment, because that like zero gravity thing, like elements floating in the air that are not supposed to float in the air, like rocks and boulders or stuff like that. That's stuff you encounter in the game, and so I thought that would be cool to have the car kind of being in this gravity-free zone, flying around with lots of objects floating around it as well. So it looks really wild. It looks really busy. There's a lot of stuff happening, and all this happening in this forest environment. So that was my first idea. The second was more like focused on the gameplay of the game, I guess, because it's I made a second concept scribble. Let's second. So where the car is actually driving through a scenery. So we have the garage here. The garage is kind of your home base in the game, where you after you have a ride out and do your stuff, you come back there and fuel up the car, build new parts, repair everything, and stuff like that. So we have the garage here, and of course we have the forest elements here, the trees again. And the idea here was that the car is kind of, as you see here, there's this white space, so that the car is kind of driving into the unknown. Because that's also something I find really fascinating, is when you start a tour from the garage, you're kind of driving into some sort of portal, and the portal takes you into an area that you have to discover. So, and every time you kind of drive through the portal, so this is the portal here, the car go through it, and you don't know what happens and what kind of awaits you there on the other side. So that was the idea here. So both have been sent to the team, and they picked this one here, the first concept, which is great. I think I would have loved to draw them both, but I think this one here is like more dynamic and more poster-like, I think. So with the fact in mind that this is supposed to be a poster, I think this is a great choice. It'll also leave some space maybe for for a little text or the title placement here in the lower part or something, which is good. So yeah, that's where we are currently, or not actually, because where I am currently is that I already started to draw some outlines. You see here, so I started to draw the trees and like the rocks here on the left and right, that give the whole poster a frame in the end. So we have this kind of as a frame. I have to look if I can improve some of the balance here in the artwork later on in the composition. But yeah, that's where I was now. I think this is kind of a little bit boring to watch because drawing all these trees, it's very detailed, as you see. It will be separated later on through colors, so it looks wilder than it will look later on. But this is kind of very very routine work. But I want to focus on the car in the stream today and draw it along you watching me because I think this is more interesting thing. And you can also here on top of me can also see the time lapse of the scribbles, the concept scribbles. Something you see there that is kind of maybe interesting is that I use a 3D model of a similar car as a reference because I wanted to get the proportions of the car right and the perspective. So I had my friend Jacques send me a 3D model of the of a similar car. I don't even know the model actually. I'm not sure the original model. So it's a real car, but it looks very similar. And so I could play around in Blender with the perspective and get the right viewpoint for the car. And that was kind of helpful to figure out the perspective. And yeah, so let's just draw it. I'm going to hide these layers here so it doesn't get in the way here, because I want the car to overlay some of the trees here, for example, so the whole composition gets more depth. But it confuses now, so let's hide it. Yo, Dominic. That cap, yeah, it's I have a couple of these. These are, I love these. It's what's the brand again? Gurin Brothers. Gurin with double O. Yeah, I love these. I have like 3 or 4 of these. One with the panther and one with a dog and one with a duck, actually. Yo, Danzig. Glad you came over and I'm really happy to work on this for you guys because I just love the whole setting and the vibe, as I mentioned before. Really cool. So thanks for having me. So I'm starting to outline this with my Randy Marsh brush. Those of you who come by here more often or as regular visitors, you know that Randy is one of my favorite brushes from my pack. And it's I think I chose it because it is a little rougher than most of my other brushes. So I think it fits the topic and the things I'm drawing here, that it has a little roughness, some irregular edges and stuff like that. I may have to look up some of the details of the car later on once again, just to get it right. Just drawing from imagination and my
from my memory, kind of how I memorized the car from the game. But I think the cool one of the cool parts is that it's kind of feel kind of free. Of course, it has to be this wagon, this type of car, and it really the game very much builds on like this being the one car you can drive. So it's not that you can switch to a convertible or something in between, and you ride like a quad or a motorbike. So it's really just only this single car that you drive. So of course, obviously, it has to be this type of car. But I think in how it's equipped and how it how the details all look, I feel like I have some creative freedom to come up with stuff, because it's there's so many parts you can build and find in the game as well. I think I don't know the number of possible combinations, but pretty sure that there's not many players who have the same, like the exact same car. My glasses are really driving me nuts. I have to get different glasses whenever I draw. It, I think my skin is has too much fat, because it's always going this way, and I always have to do this. It's not ideal. I have my other glasses somewhere around here. It's old because I need like a bigger, more like dioptrin. Is that a word in English? I'm not sure. That's the translation, like how strong the glasses are, but it still works. So it's not my current doesn't have my current numbers, but it still works. And it's worked better for drawing because that one isn't falling off my nose all the time. Now that we have no music, I feel like whenever I'm not talking, it's maybe too quiet. Weird. I mean, you guys are running away or less engaging, I'm going to put it on again.
Hey, Tomcat. Yeah, I'm not doing a complete quiet stream. It's just that I'm trying a non-music stream because I saw that with a couple of streamers lately. I mean, some streamers seem to not care at all about the copyright because I guess they don't want to have their stream recordings, like the stream video after they streamed. I think they don't want to have it accessible after the stream anyway, but I do prefer that because I see that lots of people still watch the streams after I'm done, sometimes even like a year later because they find the topic interesting or something. And YouTube just kicks the video from the platform if it uses copyrighted music, right? So that's just the reason. Yeah, the royalty free bullshit is what I was just, I mean, Epidemic Sound has some really great royalty free playlists, and it's not even that it's all super boring elevator style music. So that's really not the case, but it's really hard to find good, like, I don't want to play the same music in every one of my streams, right? So it was really harder and harder to find something good. So I would recommend you just switch on your own Spotify or whatever you use, and yeah, just put on whatever you like. Yeah, I agree. It's a bit weird. So I'm going to listen to the stream later on, and I'm always having a check after the stream is done if the replay, if the volume is good and everything, if there have been any issues with the quality, just out of interest. And I think it will be weird to me if there's just my voice. So then it's not ideal. I wish there was kind of a solution for the whole royalty thing. So I would even kind of give my ad revenue I get through, I mean, I don't get ad revenue through YouTube yet because I need to have like 4,000 hours watched within 1 year or something until they kind of include ads in my videos, I think. So I would even give the ad revenue to the musicians. I don't care, but it would be so cool if I could just play some music I like to listen to. Because I think it adds to the vibe if you, as a streamer, you're not only showing whatever you do on stream, but if you share your musical taste and you kind of can enjoy music together with your viewers. So like, hey, this is a cool song, let's talk about the band or whatever, you know? So that kind of stuff.
just taking a look at some screenshots of the car. I think I want to change some little details here. To make the front a little bit more like the real deal. Yeah, comic. Oh, yeah, that's a comic could be a lifetime project actually. But I would love to do a comic at some point of my artist career. And I'm actually working on something that is, yeah, well, let's say it goes in the direction with the big plus on my end that I don't have to do the whole book. Because I will, or I am working on a project that will involve comics and also lots of other artists, together with my friend Dominic. I don't know if Dominic's still here
Or if he's gone again. Oh damn, I just see my timer in the chat. I'm sorry guys, the bookshop is not open anymore. It's closed. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think so with comics, I think my style is basically great for comics because it is influenced by comic artists, and it has it has some elements like for example, of course, from Lean Claire, from the Lean Claire style, Franco-Belgian comics from the last decades. But what I do different is that I just add lots of more details to everything. So I think I had to find a way to keep the vibe of my illustrations, but to go a little lower on the details, right? So I think that's kind of the challenge I would face. But I would love to take the challenge and just try to see how it works out in the end. Yeah, I don't know where are the viewers coming from, guys. Don't be so silent. Hack some stuff in the chat and let me know where you all are coming from. Welcome to the stream. It isn't the raid because you're all on YouTube, and I think there's no raids on YouTube, right? I'm not sure about that though, but I think so. Yeah, the shop. I'm sorry, I have to remove the timer from my streaming setup. It is
closed since a couple of weeks now. Actually, I'm always always forgetting to update the timer on the chat. But I will open the shop again most likely around mid to late April. First of all, this poster here I'm making here will probably be available in the shop. I'm not sure about that. I don't want to promise anything, but I think it will be. And I have new prints coming up as well that I will put up in the shop. When they are done and printed, I will open again. And there will be also copies of my coloring book available. Yeah, for you guys in the West, it's not the perfect streaming time, right? But I'm busy in the evening, so I had to do the stream today a bit earlier than usual. It's and I don't have time until next week after today, so yeah. But glad you came in still, Freeds. That's great. Yeah, so if you want to have a coloring book and you don't want to wait, just if you want, just drop me a message or shoot me like a mail or a message on Twitter, Instagram or something, so we can figure that out for sure. Because I have a couple left. It's no problem to send it over. It's just that I didn't want to keep my shop open because I felt like most of the guys who already wanted, a coloring book already got one, and I didn't want to keep the costs of the shop running just for a sale every couple of days. So that's why it's closed. But we can figure something out for sure. Yeah, I love the combis, but in this case, it's just really kind of it's defined through the game because this type of car is in the game, and it wouldn't have made any sense to draw anything else. So I'm going to draw the base of the car first, and then turn to some of the details. Yo, Marcel, how's it going, man? What are you working on lately? Something exciting coming up? By the way, Frieds, what's German doing in Vermont? Are you an expat, like a proper expat, or are you there for a job, or are you a student there or something? Germont. Did I say Germont? No. Oh, you mean a German in Vermont? Yeah. Freeze the Germont person. Oh, nice. Well, that's exciting. That's cool. So you kind of settled. That sounds great. I never did a board game commission. I always like I feel motivated to just send my portfolio to board game designers and see if I can grab a job there. But so far, I mean, I'm always very busy, so I'm not really looking for new work. But I would just love to join the team and make a really cool looking board game sometime. So we'll see. And I see lots of the really amazing stuff that's on Kickstarter, and I think I would love to do that. I would love to do what they do at some point. But I guess it's lots of work. Probably the payment isn't really perfect. Yeah, Germont. Sounds better than vermin. I think so too. Oh, you're experimenting with watercolors, Marcel. That sounds exciting. Didn't use watercolors in ages. I used to work with them at university for a while, and I thought there was a point where I thought that watercolors is my kind of my shit, but turns out that I just love the digital work too much, and I really hated the whole, preparing the paper, and then you make a mistake and it's all like all the work is gone, and all that stuff is it drove me away and made me want to work fully digital at some point. Also spy, yo, Jack, how's it going? Is it Jack? I guess it's Jack. Nice to see you. Okay, the perspective on this part here looks a bit off. very important, by the way, that I use the right layer and not not drawing on one of the layers with the trees. Of course, as long as it is kind of separated, so drawing on this layer here is no problem because I can just make a selection, or could make a selection, but danger if there's any overlaying elements. It's not that it never happened before, so I'm warned. I'm going to draw this part here on a separate later on because I want to have the opportunity to keep the opportunity to change the position. That's the first reason. And the second reason is that if this is going to be animated, which is probably the case, then I want to have it on a different layer so it can be easily animated to float around and to move away from the car a little bit, maybe. Depending on the number of elements I want to have separate later on, this may become a problem with the layer count. So the canvas here is like this. So you see lots of pixels, and the layer count is limited to 25, which is not a lot. Because this kind of size is keeping Procreate quite limited. But we want to print it out large later on, right? So, gotta have a nice and fat resolution. Yeah, definitely. Watercolor is totally fascinating because you can create a whole different visuality. And I think it's hard to emulate that with digital tools as well. I mean, there's, of course, digital watercolor brushes, but in my opinion, so I didn't try loads of them, but I did try a couple, and I think it's there's nothing like the real deal in terms of watercolors. So definitely good to really do it in the traditional way. But yeah, I had this point when I was at uni, taking lots of drawing classes, lots of art classes. I reached a certain point where I was like, I can't have this anymore. I need to go full digital because it annoyed me too much to always have this huge piles of paper lying around. This also paying like the money for the tools, right? For the colors. I mean, watercolor isn't really very cheap as well. So this, and I took the step to kind of going digital from like the first sketch to the final, kind of adding the final touches, and I never really looked back. I mean, I don't have to tell you, right? Because you do digital art as well, so you know what I'm talking about, of course. I wonder what your work would look like as like hand drawn with fine liners and watercolors, maybe. I mean, your usual work with all the details. I think it's got potential to drive people mad to try this with traditional mediums. Yeah, it's convenient, and it's also
some traditional artists like to hate on digital artists because it is so convenient. So the same as digital artists now hate on AI art, traditional artists hated on digital artists because it's cheating to be able to draw a line like this and it straightens and you can turn it back and so Control Z. Some people call that cheating. I find it kind of hilarious. But yeah, people's opinions on art are at times just hilarious. With this car, I'm trying to draw most of the lines like really hand drawn and not using the straightening tool Procreate, because I want to have it looking a little bit uneven and wobbly, kind of to give it a rough, like a little rougher character. Because I mean, lots of the lines I could just really kind of straight draw like this, or even use a perspective grid. So I'm not doing that here because I like to have the little dents and the little imperfections. I mean, little imperfections. The car is actually very, very much imperfect, but I want to try to give it this character. So that's why I'm using straightened lines here mostly, just to give you like a little peek inside my head about how I think about this stuff. And I think these are details that kind of can make a difference later on. They won't be super visible or something, so from afar, if you're watching the final result from afar, you won't most likely see much difference, but it's in the detail. Just like the good old devil. While being no car expert at all, I mean, apart from admiring certain cars for their design and stuff like that, or watching shows like Top Gear or stuff like that, which is not really a car show in terms of learning about technical details. So this is all kind of made up what I'm doing here. Hey Quentin, how's it going? Having a good day? No undo. Oh yeah, in the commission rules, that would be fun. I had that when I was taking life drawing classes. The teacher, so some of the students came with their iPads or just other digital tablets to the life drawing class. By the way, life drawing is insanely helpful. So for every one of you guys who wants to learn drawing basics, illustration basics, not necessarily anatomy, but just kind of getting the hang of drawing. Life drawing is
immensely important. Anyway, so I had this teacher who was like, for everyone who brings like a digital tool, let's not do undo. So undo is forbidden if you like. And I think it was really great because you learn to work with imperfections, and it's really helping the expression of your art if you accept imperfections and you're not kind of trying to draw the perfect line and again and again and again and again. It's really interesting what happens if you let loose a little bit. So I don't say that I now want to skip the undo every time. That makes no sense, because sometimes you make mistakes that you want to undo. But it's a good training to accept the imperfections. Especially, I mean, this has been a couple of years ago, right? So, but now think about AI art and how it's competing with you as an artist. There's no way around it. It just competes with you. And the fact that you as a human do mistakes that others may appreciate because it looks like human made, and it's making things and artworks unique and everything. So it's actually an asset if you're able to accept imperfections and work them into your artwork. So, in my opinion, I don't know. I mean, I guess I will at some point will be able to fake imperfections. I'm pretty sure it will be, but still, I think to make something really perfectly unique and special, I think it can be stylistic part of your work. Hey Yasuo, well, I would say art styles develop constantly, so it's never really stopping. But of course, I mean, this is not my final answer, because I know, of course, the getting where I am now with my style took a certain time. It's hard to answer. So I think I very early, like maybe around like 12, 13 years ago, I started to work in this very comic influenced outline style, and developed it from there on. But I took lots of kind of detours through what I mentioned before, through working with watercolors and other traditional tools. So I took some tours left and right to see if something was probably more down my line, and if something was more like a style that I had more fun with or something. I also did for a very, very long time. I also did vector illustration. So in Adobe Illustrator, just vector stuff, which was great in my first years of freelancing because it paid some bills, because it has this corporate compatible style that lots of like startups, etc., want for their infographics. So I did that for quite a while. So it's hard to tell, because it was always like experimenting left and right. I think this is the stuff that keeps you creative and makes you kind of stay flexible as well. So I wouldn't say that I wasted time there. But yeah, I think in the current version of my style, maybe 5 to 6 years or something like that. I could show you some older work that is quite similar, but like that has already this cartoon influenced outline style, but where you see differences. So it's not that easy to answer the question. One thing that has been that has been really great for me was buying an iPad, my very first iPad that I used for drawing in, I think 2018, like February 2018, and that's when I started my Instagram account, the Plastic Pen account, because I bought the iPad at a time where I felt a little out of it. So I had lots of design jobs again, and I wasn't sure if the illustration stuff would pay my rent and my bills. And then I bought the iPad, and my goal was to draw every day for at least half an hour, just to get back into this into the mode of a constant drawing, because I lost track of that a little bit. And so that was beginning of 2018, and that like using Procreate and working on the iPad for like to have the flexibility of drawing every day, etc. I think that also made me go more and more into this very detailed style I have today. So that was kind of not a turning point, but an important milestone to lead me to my current style. Yeah, sorry for the very long answer. It's I'm rambling around a little bit because I just like while I'm thinking about it. But it's all a process, so that's really one important learning, is that that's really always a process. Nowhere. How's it going, mate? Good to see you here. Yeah. Confrontations or conflicts between art styles and mediums, etc. Also the discussion, what is illustration and what is art? Are you a commercial artist or a free what's it called, like the a free artist? The discussion is so stupid. It's really I actually just read a nice thing on Threads today. Like there's, well, maybe I find it again. There's 3 types of artists. That is commercial artists. I'm missing the second description or the name. So stupid. Someone who has like just doesn't work in a commercial way, and then there's real artists, and the real artists are those who don't give a shit about which type of the first 2 they are. And that's really so true, because all these discussions are just there to initiate conflicts in the art world, and to create tribes and groups and segmentations that are just not there. It's doesn't make sense at all. Yeah, that's great. Glad you liked my rambling. That's good to know. the whole style question is really difficult, because there's whoever tells you that there's a short answer to how to find your style and how styles develop, etc., is just a liar, in my opinion, because there's just no real short way of like, there's no short guide or any kind of shortcut to find it, because it's such a very intense and long process that may also include taking 2 steps back, or taking 1 step back to go 2 steps ahead. It's I'm a bit annoyed by the discussion of continuity and everything that is around, like, social media, to people who tell you that you have to be constantly posting the same style of work to be successful, which I don't doubt that this is successful in social media terms, so that the algorithm will push you forward if you have very predictable type of content that always kind of hits the same direction. But I think as a beginner artist, this is probably the worst you can do, because you limit yourself so much when you're about to develop your style, that I think you will eventually hit a dead end. And it's happening with other art. I saw artists who reached that dead end and were kind of frustrated, because they of course they didn't want to give up their audience, but they also couldn't kind of proceed the way they started, because their art and their taste had developed over time. And this is, I think this is sometimes really can make someone turn against being an artist, probably, even in the worst case. Oops. One reason I'm not on Twitch that much anymore, or I'm focusing. I see you are on Twitch, Hashi, right? Hashi, yeah, Hashi. So one reason I focused on YouTube compared to Twitch. I'm still streaming on Twitch, obviously, because you're watching me on Twitch. But I chose YouTube as kind of my main platform that I promote everywhere now, because 95% of art on Twitch is people drawing manga girls. There's exceptions. I know, I follow a couple people. I watch the streams sometimes. It's great. It's fine. But I didn't really feel like that my audience was that I was reaching the right audience on Twitch. And there's really nothing against this type of manga girl art. It's totally fine. I get it. It's some people discredit it and say it's not really art. I would very harshly disagree, because first of all, who are you to decide what is art and what not? And second, let people do what they want. But it's just really not my type of audience, not my community, you know. And that's why I kind of a little bit turned my back on Twitch there. And these guys are, so I hope it doesn't happen to them, and I hope they will all be successful. I wish success. Like, I'm rooting for every single artist out there, that they can make a living from their art. And I see some of them are really successfully kind of making money from selling prints and pins on Kickstarter, and who have like really make great revenue from selling their shops. Sometimes even commissions. Even though I'm not sure if I root for people who make like $50 commissions. I'm a bit critical, thinking a little bit critical about that, but still, well, it's fine. But I think some of them may encounter this dead end I was just talking about, that they improve and develop their style and they have this audience that demands a very, very small frame of art type they want to see. So it's a very narrow style and very narrow subjects they deal with in their artworks, and this can be difficult at some point. I know that. So, for example, for me, it's I know that some of my artworks, some subjects I deal with are more successful than others. And I see that I could do the same. I mean, I could just go all in into this particular style, and kind of ride the style as hard as possible. But I know it would be boring to me, so I'm not doing that. I try to stay versatile and just try to keep kind of my topics that I'm working with and everything. I try to keep this a little bit varied, even though I know that on social media I get like hurt for this, but it's because I know that that it keeps me, like, it keeps myself entertained. I'm not getting bored so easily about that this way. And I mean, I'm doing fine, right? So it's of course, this comes from someone who has lots of followers, and I'm always booked with commissions, so it's really not that I have to change anything or something. So that, of course, you have to take that into account. Oh yeah, there's lots of artists who draw mostly manga girls and are successful. It's fine. It's if it's like, if they enjoy it, it's great. Alright, Freeds, danke fürs Vorbeischauen. Liebe Grüße nach Germont. Ciao. So I'm in a phase with this car where I just add random elements to it because I just enjoy giving this car more and more details. I have to take a look at the big picture in between every now and then, so I know it's not getting out of hand, but I think it's still completely fine right now. I saw some of the cars had some round add-on here on the hood. I want that as well here for my car. Also, I also been thinking about how I want to color this artwork later on. Because the game works with, I'd say,
naturalistic colors, so it's like lots of green and blue and gray.
And then I wonder if I can add some of my signature purple to it later on. Because no real Stefan artwork if there's no purple. But at the same time, I want to try to keep the mood of the game and pay attention to this mystic overall feel. Yeah, perfect. Permission to purple. Yeah, it's I mean, obviously, I'm going to have the door on a separate layer as well. I mean, obviously, purple is a mysterious color as well. So I think that would be nice, a nice fit. I mean, but we'll see. Maybe just a detail or something. I'm not sure yet. Usually, I have something in mind, something very rough, but more like a feeling of a color, not really a specific palette. And I usually like to do the drawing first, what I'm doing here, the outlines first, and then think about the possible color palette. Because I think you have like a better grasp of the whole setting and everything when the outlines are done.
I'm sad that I don't have the music on, because it's. I give you a quick. Okay. Okay. Quickly go away before I get a copyright strike. I don't know if you will be able to see any of this later on, but always better to be prepared.
Okay, that's a door. Adorable. Haha. Um, Apple Moose, hello. Greetings to the neighbors in the west. Hope the sun is shining at yours as well.
Well, it's a little bit shining. It's slightly. I see some blue over there, some blue sky, but not that much today.
Yesterday was great though. Yeah, I'm good. It's been a rough start to the day somehow. Just because I didn't get out of bed very well. So I was a little grumpy. And I had to deal with some annoying stuff. Like organizational stuff. Accounting. From like the accounting quality. That didn't really lift my mood, but
it's getting better. Now that I'm here and drawing, it's always making me happy, so yeah. Oh, the sound is a bit choppy. Okay, you don't hear me well? Test. Connection is good. No dropped frames.
I hope that it was just a short thing. So here we have this part of the car. Kind of belongs here, like this. And this will be like, it will have the potential to be animated later on, so it kind of flies away here, flies around. Maybe it just kind of makes a turn or something, like it tilts a little bit, we'll see. But yeah, that's the purpose of that thing later on. And the same, of course, with the door. The door looks a bit small. Maybe I gotta scale it a little. I think that's better. So now the roof is still a little empty. I'm not sure if I want to put something really Ghostbusters on the roof. So there's, for example, I think I have to add something to the scribble first to be sure about that. There's this boulder here. I'm going to erase that for now. Or no, let's not erase that, because I like the shape of the boulder. Put it here. But so I want to add some beams here, and I could maybe add something like a,
I don't know
what it's called, like electromagnetic impulse cannon. I don't know. I'm not far enough in the game to have that kind of stuff for my car. So, but I think it would
it would look cool shape wise, like from design aspects. It would look nice, I think. No? No what? No electromagnetic cannon thing? Hey Vic, yeah, drawing cars, I can really recommend it. If it's fantasy cars like this, I mean, I guess it's based on a real car model, of course. Not officially, I guess, but there's some inspiration coming from these old wagons, these American these American huge combi cars. But if it's like some fantasy stuff or some real cars, it's really fun. Oh, okay, the sound is cutting away. I don't know. It's does anyone else have problems with my microphone? Like, can you hear me all right? Or let me know, please, because that would be good to know if there's any issues. Because I don't know if there's a problem on my end or on your end. Maybe, but the image, like the video, is good, right? Okay. Okay, thanks, guys. Well, I don't know, Upper Moose. Maybe it's on your end. I'm not sure. I hope it will be sorted out. A peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So you mean flying around somewhere, right? That would be nice. Here, like a sandwich here. Yeah, maybe I can do that. I don't know if it will be recognizably peanut butter jelly, but I can try. Your mother-in-law moved to a new place. Made her car with a dog. That's nice. Yeah, share it for sure. I mean, that's what the channel on Discord is for. The showcase channel. So, okay, I think I like the round thing here on the car. Trying to add it. Of course, it's a bit tricky with the perspective, with round things. In this case, I'm making use of the digital tools I have at hand. Where are you watching? YouTube. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's some kind of bandwidth problem or something. I think I want to add some more like straps and gaffer taped elements as well, so it looks more do-it-yourself.
Okay, cool. Glad to know my voice is coming in clear and good for you now. Yeah, I don't know. I was a bit shocked first because usually these stupid bandwidth problems are more on my end. I had my share of issues with bad streams. I remember in my old place, I don't know what the problem was there because the internet speed itself was fine, but for some reason I always had connectivity issues there and dropped frames and quick check. I think I want to add some more trees or tree branches here, this area. Oops. This area here. So I have an even better illusion of depth there. Because yeah, it's always important for a composition where you simulate or emulate perspective and depth that you take care of objects overlaying themselves. So
you have this illusion of distance in the image. Another thing that you have to take care of is that you don't have weird overlays like this here. So I'm going to adjust that a little bit. It goes further down. Like there. And yeah, maybe I'm going to add one branch here or something, or maybe another tree in the back here, like this. Well, that doesn't help. Okay, maybe more like this. Oh, that would be good, I guess. And well, of course, then there will be lots of elements like this crate here and this here and the boulders flying around that will improve this effect I was just explaining. That's really something I pay attention to a lot. Yeah, I think this is taking a nice direction. Oh, let's hide the trees again. And so I think I got the basic, not the basic, of course, more than just the basic, but I think I got the shape of the car where I want it now. So I think I'm going to now start drawing some of the surrounding elements. I like to do that because it helps me figure out the overall grade of detail of the composition. Obviously, my art always looks like as if I just add details wherever I can. This isn't completely the case. I was just confused. I'm not sure about the viewer numbers today. It's weird. So now there were like 200 people in here. No, it's just like 40 something. No one chatted, and I wonder where these guys were coming from. Okay, maybe Kepler or Poster Spy, you guys shared something on your channels, and it reached lots of people. I was just wondering about the sudden drop, but okay. So anyway, I like to go over the whole composition again and again and add more details to the complete thing instead of just really giving the car an insane amount of details and then realizing that I have like an imbalance of details later on. An imbalance isn't always bad because we want to have a focus and a contrast, of course, but it's much easier for me to now turn to, for example, drawing some of the boulders, or here, this crate here, for example, is like a nice next part. See how that goes. And yeah, in the end, I will reach a certain point where I drive myself totally nuts because I added so many details everywhere. And now I'm reaching usually a point where I think, okay, this is enough. And it's more comfortable if this isn't like item by item. Yeah, probably bots. I'm not sure. I never had. So I know a sudden high in viewer counts. I know that from Twitch when there's raids. Something I didn't have for a very long time. I don't know why. But not on YouTube so far. And usually the bots, they send chats and chat messages and invite you to a very, very legit website where you can watch ladies dance in front of webcams. And then I block them, and then that's that. But
they didn't chat at all somehow. I mean, let me see if I got lots of new followers. Maybe that's nope, not really. Weird. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's good to have you guys who are here.
Yeah, I thought so. So that was my explanation. Yeah, usually the streams are really kind of relaxed and just a couple of people in here. So I'm not one of those huge streamers who are amassing followers like crazy or viewers like crazy because I don't play Pal World or something on stream. And no, I don't know. So I think it's very niche content. And yeah, there's of course some art streamers who have lots of viewers, but very often these are the guys who do the anime girls. So that's not me as well. But honestly, I think it's cool because it's very relaxed, and I know lots of the faces that come in here. Every now and then there's new people, which is great, and can have like some real talk about the art world and being an artist freelancer, and that's perfect. And I have some content for my YouTube channel that is like that I just produce on the side.
Yeah, I've been. Oh, now the viewer count is down to 15. It's funny. I would like to know the explanation for it. So 15 is more like the regular number. Now I think now we're back to regular visitors. It is the streams. Sometimes I'm watching gaming streams, for example. Rarely I follow. I rarely have artists I follow who have like more than, let's say, 50 viewers at once. Even the really high end artists, I think they it's just really very niche still. And whenever I'm in those streams where there's like 3,000 people watching, and I feel like I have to say something in the chat, like maybe someone is asking a question, or the topic is kind of, I kind of feel I could contribute something to the topic or whatever, and there's the chat just running like I'm always okay, come on, forget it. I'm not going to take part in this, let alone read it all, of course. So yeah, I think it's cooler to have this kind of relaxed session style, even though more it's a little bit of a bias. I have to be honest. Of course, as a social media using person, you always want to have more views on your work, because more viewers are potentially new buyers of brushes, of your books, whatever you selling at that point. So I would
obviously I'd lie if I say I'm glad if not so many people see my work, but this is just related to having a very intimate session and a very relaxed kind of style of streams. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that you hope that I grow. On YouTube, I think I have given up on Twitch, to be honest. So I'm not really focusing on Twitch anymore. I'm just streaming there. Hi to the 2 people watching on Twitch right now. I appreciate you. It's great that you're there. But so what I mean with giving up on Twitch is I have given up on doing these channel point events where people can make me stretch or make me speed draw something. There was a time for that. It has been really lots of fun. I remember we had these streams where we had like really cool sessions of making art, but also kind of chatting and vibing and just having fun. But I realized that I really want to focus on my work during the streaming and not focus. I don't want to focus on being an entertainer in terms of doing things that are unrelated to my art just to keep people kind of engaged and watching. So I'd rather have someone leave the stream if the only way to keeping them on the stream is by dancing, something like that. Even though the speed drawing sessions were really cool, so we had sometimes people could tell me like what I should draw, and then I would draw it in 60 seconds or something. That was really funny and cool. I gotta say that, but still, I think you get what I mean. So yeah, we'll see where this whole streaming thing goes, but as I want to build my YouTube a little bit further, I say that since a year or even longer, and don't never have time for it, but there will hopefully be a time where I will I will focus more on YouTube. It makes sense to emphasize on that channel fully with my live streams as well. I also still have a podcast concept in my drawer, in my drawer of ideas. So I would really, really love to do a podcast with guests. At some point, I have this idea of how I want to do it. I'm not sure if I want to do it live or record it and just release the recorded session. That's something I have to figure out. It depends on what the guests prefer, of course. But yeah, it's that's something I want to do. It's just really all a matter of time. I'm not paying too much attention to the placement of the objects here now, to be honest. I use the scribble as a reference, but it's more that I draw these now and then I can later on, for example, I'm going to color them later on, and then I decide to have this crate here in a different position because I want to have it in front of the tree here or behind the car, and then I move it to the right position. So that's just a little. Come on, go back. The only thing I'm paying attention to is that I don't draw on like this, because maybe I want to use this layer for all the objects, and then I can cut it out and move it to the position later on. But because I don't want to waste a layer, an extra layer per element or item. Because still I have in mind for this to get an animation later on. So the project includes like there's 3 artists drawing a poster for Pacific Drive, and one of them will be animated, I think, for a social media post and things like that later on. And my idea is to just prepare it in a way that it will make it easy for the animators to use it, and to not go totally crazy because everything is on one layer and they have to figure out how to animate it. So just in the case, it would be cool. I would, of course, love to see it animated. But in the case, I'm preparing everything as good as I can. So that's that.
Molensky, hey, how's it going? Failed illustrations. Yeah, not so many, I would say, because I like to prepare my my illustrations very, very thoroughly. So if I'm not convinced by an idea, I rarely turn it into an illustration. Of course, it can always happen that a client says that they don't want to use it anymore, or that that it turns out in a way that they don't like anymore. And then you have to figure out a solution which could include going back a couple of steps and doing an illustration once again from the beginning. Usually the client has to pay for that because it's their fault for not telling you that they don't like something in the beginning. So my approach is that I keep clients very, very closely updated on the process. And sorry again, the bookshop. I just see the bookshop message. It's not open. I'm sorry. It's closed now. So I keep everyone very, very closely updated about each step I take. So I expect everyone to be able to make a decision on like what they like and what not early enough. But it happens, of course. It happens. It happens that I don't like something as well. For example, something that is working in the outline stage, and then I color it, and I realize that I really don't like the colors I had in mind, and maybe it's colors I have to use because it's corporate colors or something. Sometimes the client likes it and I don't. So that happens as well. So yeah, it's I try to be prepared for like that this case isn't happening, and it works. So most times it works. And scribbles like this. So yeah, I've showed you the scribbles. Give me a second. So this was the second scribble, which will not be turned into an artwork. I think it would be great to do that, but I mean the commission is for this one here, and so of course if there's multiple concepts in the scribble form, of course there's always one that doesn't make the cut. But often enough, I just have one scribble. For example, here, if you take my Singing Doors series, I start sketchbooking very, very roughly. So you see, start drawing like
or sketching out like little parts of the scenery, and then it turns into this in the end, which then turns into a more detailed scribble. And you see it always, it's from the very start, it's very, very specific and very concrete in my head already. So I have this idea, I think it would work, and I develop it further and further, and then this is very rarely that I have to start this from the very beginning. While for I think here for the Pacific Drive one, this is my sketchbook page, and you see here's this idea of having the car in this zero gravity thing floating around. So this one isn't really too far away from the actual artwork I'm drawing now, right? So I think when I have an idea in my head, I often develop it quite far before I start sketching and drawing. But everyone's process is different. So I know there's artists who make 20 thumbnails. I always admire that, because I wouldn't have the patience for it. But I know there's artists who do 20 beautiful thumbnails, sometimes even really with the first like contrast concepts, and sometimes even with like rough colors. And from the 20 they pick their favorite, or the client picks their favorite, and 19 go into the bin. It's really a matter of what kind of process you prefer, I guess. So not saying that mine is better than doing 20 thumbnails. Probably their result is better than mine, because they put more thought into the process. But on the contrary, I stay sane, and they maybe not. No, I don't know. Drawing boulders is always so special. I love the shape of rocks and boulders and cliffs and all, and I always feel like I could do better, and it's always like a challenge to me. I've been looking at countless references of any kinds of stone material in nature, whatever, and I always feel like I could learn and improve on this. It's interesting. It's like there's like an endless, infinite supply of possible shapes these things could have. That is it's not getting boring drawing stones and rocks. Okay. I think I'm going to add a tire here, but I'm going to not add it in this position now, so I can, because if I draw it like this, I have like a cut edge here on the right, and I don't want to have that if this is going to be animated later on, so I'm going to steal that perspective. Oops, nope. Move it over here. Tires, I think, definitely the part of the car that I had to repair and replace most often in the game so far. Because constantly there's a puncture or something ripping off the tire entirely, or it's like constant job to taking care of the tires. So I want to have this severed tire in the illustration as well to illustrate this relationship to tires. I think it's even the first thing you have to replace in the game at all. So I think when you find the car, if I remember correctly, I think you have to, like, the car is driving really weirdly, so it's dragging in one direction, and that is from a missing tire. So you have to find one, and oh no, it's not from a missing one. I think you have a puncture from the start or something like that. All right. Of course, it's in the foreground a little, so it's bigger than the others. In case you're wondering why it's so huge, it will make sense later on. I think I will place it in front of the trees, so we have a nice, maybe like this. So we have a nice. arrangement here. Maybe like this or so. We'll see. Go back. Yes. Thank you. All right. So I think, guys, I'm going to take a break now and end the stream because I just saw I'm always past the 2 hours. It's not that I can only stream for 2 hours, but just realized I'm going to go to the Boulder Park in like I think in half an hour or so. So that's why I can't stream so long today, because I have to exercise a little bit and get my rusty old muscles worked a little bit. So yeah, this is where we are now. So as you see, whoopsie, as you see, still lots of work to do, but I think I like the direction this is taking very much. Danzig, I hope you like it too, and I hope you're looking forward to what you will get as the final poster. If I have a little bit of time next week to stream the coloring process, I will maybe go live for just like a short session as well, showing you how I color it. I've not decided about that yet, but we'll see. If I have to speed through it a little bit, I will probably do it on my own, so I don't have distractions from the stream. But yeah, I'm going to decide that and let you know next week. But yeah, I hope you liked the process from today, from scribbled car to outlined car, or at least let's say 80% outlined car. And I see you guys anywhere, anyway, somewhere. Oh, endorphins, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm already closing it. I was quite early today. Next time will be hopefully more like in the evening hours. Maybe a late stream, evening stream again. All right, Applemoose, yeah, have a good time with your mom. Enjoy your meal, your dinner. And I see you guys in a bit. Thanks for watching today. Next time, let me know if you want to have music next time. I'm going to decide that spontaneously. And maybe with a different cam, even though I think I look okay. But it's fine, yeah. All right, people, thank you. See you soon. Bye.